貴様ら、なんでこのビデオをクリックされたのかをしているんだぜ。このボケアホ野郎者の俺がジョジョの奇妙な冒険のセリフをなんで全部引用したんだろうかって思ってるんだよな。が、妹太郎は必要ねえんだよ。なぜなら全部見たらその答えは明らかになるぜ。スタープラチナ、ほら
Greetings, JoJo enthusiasts. Just like the title of the video, I attempted to quote every line from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in 7 days. And then I hopped into VR chat to see just how much my Japanese has improved.
Your voice is so well.
Now, forewarning, the title of the video is kind of clickbaity because I in fact did not quote every line from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because straight up that'd be physically impossible for me. Instead, I quoted every line from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders Part 2, which is about 24 episodes that covers the Egypt arc of the story. And if you are a JoJo fan, you will know there are a lot of memes from that part, which I tried to include in the video. Now, I'm sure you have a few questions, like first of all, why am I doing this? Why did I pick JoJo out of all anime to quote? And did my parents send me to the psych ward for me screaming in Japanese for days on end in my room? And all those questions will be answered, but first, day 1. No huge upload ratio for day 1, but I was only able to quote 1 episode from the anime due to technical difficulties. The free site I was going to use for this challenge, AniMelon, which lets me scrub a video forward and backwards by dialogue lines, and if I hover over a Japanese word I don't know, it gives me a pop-up definition of it. Unfortunately, the video file for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders Part 2 on the website was broken. Oof. And that form of video playback being the only way to make this challenge possible, I had to troubleshoot to find an alternative. Which led me down a 2-hour rabbit hole of finding a new language learning tool, which eventually ended up with me buying this subscription for this Japanese learning app called Nigaku and using Netflix for the video playback. Now, in order for me to say I directly quoted a dialogue line from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I had to follow these 3 steps. First, I would replay the dialogue line until I fully understood what each word was being said. Then for step 2, I would then begin to say that dialogue line, focusing on any pronunciation mistakes I make and correcting them. And finally, for step 3, I would say the dialogue line at full speed with all pronunciation mistakes fixed. You got that? Now, day 2 was where I locked in on the challenge. Making up for the lost time on day 1 where I only quoted 1 episode, I quoted 5 episodes. And considering 1 episode of JoJo is about 20 minutes, this should have taken about 2 hours or less, right? No. This actually took me 3.5 hours.
Oh my god!
And that's because I was following the 3-step process I told you earlier, which is actually a really powerful language learning technique called shadowing. Shadowing at its core is simply parroting the words a native speaker of the language you're learning is saying. It's an amazing technique because not only are you practicing the common skills that come with language learning like reading and listening, but you also practice a skill a lot of language learners neglect, which is pronunciation. And for me living in the US, shadowing is an essential technique in order for me to keep my pronunciation in Japanese sharp. For the record, I've been practicing shadowing in Japanese for about 2.5 years at this point, but never more than 30 minutes a day. But I was curious how much my language skills would improve instead of shadowing just 30 minutes a day. What would happen if I shadowed for multiple hours a day? But the one thing I didn't account for is just how sore my mouth got. Guys, I ain't no D1 yapper in day-to-day conversations, so speaking Japanese non-stop for 3.5 hours, after I finished and went to bed, my mouth was just so sore, like all these muscles were so tight. It felt like I did an insane workout in the gym, but for my mouth. But falling asleep that night, I did notice my brain was trying to think in Japanese as I was going to bed. And what's crazier was, not only was I trying to think in Japanese, but all my thoughts sounded like a JoJo character.
この朝っぱらから夜まで急いでいるのはめんどくさったぜ。今日そん時間の引用したのはとんでもねえ長さだ。まあ、明日何の予定もねえ。軽く3話の引用を終わらせたら、あとゆっくり過ごするぜ。おい、ポイロレフいるのか？鍵をスタープラチナ！スタープラチナ！スタープラチナ！
Sweet. Now, on track for day 3, I was all set to quote 3 episodes from JoJo's. Earlier I mentioned I've been shadowing for the past 2.5 years. You may be wondering, what have I been shadowing? Mostly a lot of anime, but specifically for the past 3 months before I started this challenge, I've been shadowing, drumroll please, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders Part 1 on that free site I was telling you about earlier. So the reason I picked Stardust Crusaders Part 2 was because I'm kind of a completionist and I really wanted to finish quoting the entire series. And because I did Part 1 on Animelon and it worked perfectly, I was fully expecting it to work for Part 2. So I was really shocked when it didn't. And this challenge is also part of my new 2025 Japanese study routine, where instead of doing the same old daily routine for studying Japanese, I'm breaking it up into weekly challenges where I hyper-focus in on something and see how it affects my language skills as a whole. Now at this point in the challenge, after finishing quoting 3 episodes of JoJo today, I definitely felt it easier to speak and write in Japanese, with the caveat that I sound like a JoJo character, which I'm not sure if it's like a W, because if I spoke like a JoJo character casually on the street to a Japanese person, I'll probably get punched in the face. But we take those language gains where we can get them. And feeling completely back on track for day 3, I was all set to do day 4. But that is where some problems started to happen.
みんな知ってるかもしれんな。火曜日と木曜日俺がゲームを配信するんだぜ。勉強のためにゲーム言語設定は日本語けれど、ご視聴者のために英語で話す。興味があったらぜひ見ててくれ。が、このチャレンジをやり始めると、その事情を考えていなかったぜ。あれは大間違いだ。
I was not prepared for what would happen on day 4 because running off of 6 hours of sleep and being a few days in the work week and just finishing live streaming, I was super tired, like ready to fall asleep. And I still had to do 3 episodes for this challenge. And when I started going through episode 1, I just felt like nothing was sticking. I would hear a phrase, go through the motions of trying to say it. My mouth was so tired, I couldn't even pronounce words correctly. And I just slogged through 1 episode. And at that point I realized like it's not worth it. I'm retaining nothing. It'd be better if I just went to bed. So I just crashed out of my bed. And this threw off the rest of my challenge because I did not account for just how mentally draining, both physically and mentally, shadowing is. Because remember, when I told you at the beginning of the challenge, when I first did it for multiple hours, my mouth was physically sore. Because like, I don't speak that much. Having to actively use my brain to hear words, parse it, and then use my mouth to pronounce it, it was just too much to handle after doing everything I did already that day. So on day 5, realizing I would need to shadow 8 episodes this day to be back on track, and I still had to go to work, it just put me in a bad headspace. So I decided to lengthen the amount of days it took me to complete this challenge in the sake of my own mental sanity. I didn't want to feel defeated, so day 5 I quoted 5 episodes that day, so that way I had more breathing room to finish this challenge later. So now with it being day 6 and giving myself the weekend to finish this challenge, I felt pretty relaxed at this point. All that was left for me to do was just to simply lock in and do the shadowing for JoJo Stardust Crusaders Part 2. With Thursday, I shadowed 3 episodes, Friday, I shadowed 3 episodes, Saturday, I shadowed 2 episodes, and Sunday, I shadowed 4 episodes, completing the series. And with that being said, I was all set to start speaking Japanese in VR chat.
Yeah,
けど
but
た
all
だ
I
一
can
つ
say
質問があるぜ。ディオのやつ知ってるかな？
They don't anymore.
声真似うまいな。モノマネうまいな。
They're shit
す
people.
げえな。Your voice is so well.
It's just
どう
Nice deal. Are you really from America?
うん、そうだよ。
What the
it's not
hell?
blowtorch. It's supposed to be made to repair
I really
vehicles.
wondered. Wow.
My controller is kind of
キメラ
broken,
の
so
死の
Yeah, it's typical.
Is it me?
どっちでも
Yo! Yo!
I'm from Japan, and he too.
Yo! This is gonna be lit,
日本
bro!
人じゃない人いるんだから。
マジで
Yo!
それ。
その通りですよ。
いい。とっても日本人に見える。
はい。
No way, no way.
英語を勉強していたのか。
何年や
You're on PR chat. Everybody freaks.
About 5 or 6 years, but I don't so not so being well.
あ、そ
英語だと思う。
オルさん。
う。とっても上手だと思うよ。
Ooh, thank you so much. Your Japanese is so
Where's my
good.
vodka? Where's my vodka?
どうも
Where's my vodka? I
That's the
want my
one.
vodka, man.
毎日日本語を勉強してるさ。
What for?
字幕以内にアニメを見るためです。
Oh my god.
I don't know. It was so broken to the point like I said.
すげえ。
Face.
英語英語になった。
すげえ
I had a picture. dude.
すげえな、アニメの影響力って。
Oh, I dropped it.
あのさ、1ヶ月前、
Wait, that's somebody else.
来日し
前
That's you.
1ヶ月前、日本に来日したぜ。
That's the imposter. Is that Atomic? No.
Welcome to
There's
Japan.
no way it's
も
Atomic.
あ、
We know
あ
one guy who's
も
also
う変えました
What
け
did
ど
you
じゃあ、anymore.
where did you visit in Japan? 東京
6日に東京に
He got the
旅立っ
thing that Dusty did it.
そして京都と大阪。
お、京都の
うん。
Welcome to Osaka because I'm from Osaka.
坂人かい。
大阪人やね。これちょっとたこ焼き見てびっくりして、あるんやなと思ってさ。
大阪に行っている間にいっぱいのゴミを見た。
いや、Oh. Did you eat
落書きも
落書き Did you eat this?
うん。食べたけど、
なんかドローンがある。
あんまり好きじゃな
I'm
かったぜ
using。Polish and Russian with this.
I know. そりゃそうよね、ソース味は。
あ
Maybe so the taste will strong.
Can I have less?
油がいっぱいあるので、とっても重い。
ああ、
You wanna race?
Do I have a teacher?
Yes, do you have a teacher?
No, I use Duolingo.
ああ、デュオリンゴ。
That's why it's only teaching me food, like sushi, mizu, gohan, and ocha, and stuff like that.
こんにちは、私は男です。
こんにちは。
Elon Musk.
こんにちは。
イーロン・マスク。イーロン・マスク。
こんにちは。
すみません。
ソクラのチビよ。ディオというやつ。
Whoa,
見てなかったか。
whoa.
So you are black.
おう向かってくるか。このディオに。
近づくなきゃ、てめえは武士のめせないんでな。
すごい。上手、上手。
が、ディオを見なかったのかな。
ディオ
背が
は
高くて
見ていません。
金髪の悪党のやつよ。
見ていないね。
あれは残念。
I love Jojo. My English level is child baby.
いや、
No, it's okay.
とても上手だと思うよ。
なんでなんで
あ、
I heard from like rumors or things that I've been told is that you guys are like forced to learn English.
なんか、中学生から英語を勉強しなければいけないという質問。
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, they do. They have to. ゆうたさん、どのぐらい英語を勉強してきたのか。
と、1、2、3、4、5、6、8、9。
おい、触るんじゃねえ。
無駄無駄無駄無駄無駄無駄無駄無駄無駄無駄
無駄無駄無駄無駄無駄無駄。
おらおらおらおらおら。
Where are you from, Jotaro?
だって日本だよ。
日本？
日本？
数日前エジプトを旅したけど、僕は アメリカの出身。No, I studied computer science and
Computer science.
I know.
Oh, we have some money for you.
あどうも最近コンピューターサイエンスの専攻やつらは貧乏だよね。
Computer science, right? Yeah. I have some money for you.
どうもお預かりし
I'm
ます
computer.
おい何の吸血鬼だよ。誰が書いてた？
Is that your house?
この猫耳のやつが書いてた？
猫耳。Yes.
おごめんタヌキの耳。
あ、たぬき。
日本語は勉強しないと。趣味だけだ。
趣味だけ。
そうだ。
俺と同じだよ。
翔太郎、どうした？
アニメを英語の字幕を見ないために日本語を勉強し始めた。
すごい。
趣味だ。あれは趣味だ。
だってアメリカ人の普通の意味だよ。
Amazing.
Now, this by far has been the most intensive thing I have done in my Japanese language learning journey because for some days I was quite literally shadowing speaking non-stop Japanese for 3.5 hours at a time. But through the sheer volume of speaking all that Japanese, I felt my pronunciation go up by a whole bunch. But also at the same time, this study routine is just not manageable whatsoever for any long-term period. But shadowing is definitely a you are what you eat because I only shadowed JoJo for 9 days. I sound like a JoJo character and I probably will continue to sound like a JoJo character until I start shadowing some other stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to wrap up the video. If this video gets 100 likes, I will make another VR chat video where I speak in Japanese. If you learned something new or have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace, gamers. Whew.